Alright, so we have a carpet. And a youth potion.
You think that this vial contains the potion of youth.
What could I use that for? Looking at the map, nothing is immediately coming to mind.
The magic carpet is a beautifully woven Persian rug with a colorful fringe on the ends. The carpet is woven of the finest fabric.
Can I use it on myself?
In your keenness to locate the second gem, you nearly forgot about the birth gem, which is still at Hagatha's cave. You had best retrieve it before continuing your quest, lest it fall into the wrong hands.
Firstly, I did not forget. Secondly, that's remarkably convenient, game, thank you. But this means we're not going to be able to check out the dome ever. Let me take a quick look around first. The mermaid is gone. Can I get in here?
You attempt to open the door but find it is locked.
What about the dwarf's house?
You rap on the tree. You jab mercilessly at nothing, you fiend.
We are a fiend.
You have come upon a quick little dwarf. Dwarves have a bad reputation for stealing treasure. Be careful. The sneaky little dwarf caught you by surprise. Did he steal anything from you?
He stole 1 point. There was something up here, but I can't tell what. So if he steals something important or something game-breaking, then I have an issue. Because I don't know how to get it back, unlike the EGA version. Let me check out the church very quickly, but I thought it was from dusk till sunset or from dusk till dawn or something.
The church. The door appears to be. The church.
It wasn't that, it was somewhere else. It was in the mailbox, wasn't it?
The paper.
What do we lose? I cannot tell what we lost. Oh my god. Maybe the cloth? Alright, at the risk of missing a whole bunch of stuff, let's get our gem back.
You strike the sky. You reacquire.
Yeet.
There's not enough room to use the carpet here. You unroll the magic carpet, lay it on the ground, and sit on it. The carpet begins to rise skyward. As you ascend higher, you realize that the carpet is beyond your control. It glides through the air on a seemingly predetermined course.
How convenient.
You unroll the magic carpet, lay it on the ground, and sit on it. The carpet rises into the air again.
Where will this drop us off?
The carpet begins to descend.
Outside town. Right, is the carpet done? No, not yet.
You unroll the magic. The sky is splendid during the height of the day.
Damn it.
There are a few pine and fir trees on this mountaintop. The view is incredible from up here. Below lies the land of Kalima, stretched out before you. You can make out the coastline, most of the forest, and a dismal, swampy area to the north. The plateau is a natural, lofty outcropping from this mountain. Two large boulders are balanced precariously on the cliff edge.
Can I push them?
No amount of effort on your part will move the heavy boulders.
Dang it. I've got to walk off here at least once, don't I?
You have just discovered
We've seen that way too many times.
it feels solid enough to support your weight, and you would certainly hope so. It would be fun to stop and climb trees for a while, but don't you have something better to do? It would be fun.
Do we have a snake?
A snake blocks your path to the east. It appears to be about 10 feet long and is coiled up, ready to strike.
Is there anything we can do about you?
The snake does not care about your possessions.
I'm sure we can kill it, but as we saw in the EGA version, that is not the answer.
You could simply kill the snake, but something about its presence up here is a little strange.
Okay.
A snake. You bravely approach the snake with your bare hands. The snake lashes out, striking with precision. Its lethal venom kills you instantly. Your history.
Nice. That's the sort of pun that I like. So I did look it up after playing King's Quest 2 EGA, and apparently this is a Greek mythology thing. No, because all of the fairy tales and whatnot that I was referencing just was not hardcore enough. Something to do with Pegasus and Medusa and Pegasus erupting from a snake's head or something?
The snake only communicates in hisses.
We can't kill us.
You could simply kill the snake, but something about its presence up here is a little strange.
Yeah, that's our clue that there's more going on here. Youth potion, maybe?
The snake...
We don't have the bridle.
The snake...
What would work?
The snake...
Okay, we're hypnotizing it.
You dangle the shimmering opal in front of the snake. It soon falls hypnotized in typical snake fashion. The snake is presently hypnotized.
Can I pat the snake?
Don't be silly. The snake could snap out of its trance any moment.
Can I murder the snake?
You could simply...
Can I stake the snake? The mallet counts as killing, okay.
The snake...
There's more that we can do with this, surely. Just based on King's Quest 1. I think I'll just try and make my way past it. Do we have the cave entrance? Oh no.
It's too dark. You can't see down there.
I'm sorry.
You reach into the cavity and feel around. What is this? You've discovered a button hidden inside the rock. You press it and wait to see what happens next. In an instant, a man stands beside you. He appears to be somewhat of an adventurer, much like yourself.
Greetings, I am King Graham of Daventry.
The newcomer nods in greeting. Without a word, he respectfully appraises you. You notice about him the manner of one who has only recently learnt the meaning of heroism.
From where do you hail, good sir?
The man opens his mouth to answer, but then pauses to consider that question. Evidently deciding that irrelevant exposition would serve neither party, he casually gestures to the hole in the rock behind you.
Might I inquire something of your identity?
After a brief search of his own person, the man pulls out a scroll card and hands it to you. You unroll it, and it reads, "Having fulfilled the requirements in accordance with the statutes of the famous Adventurers Correspondence School, the bearer is a qualified would-be hero." The man also shows you a medallion. Upon it are the words, "Hero of Spielberg." You reverently return the scroll to the man.
What is this?
You don't say much, do you?
Silent
With a
protagonist.
sigh of resignation, the man shakes his head silently.
Surely you might speak to me of your adventures.
The man becomes quite enthused about the prospect of relating his most recent adventure to you. Just as he is about to speak, however, you notice something on the ground that the man must have dropped. You retrieve the paper. It appears to be a scroll. Upon it is some writing. Disclaimer, you have just witnessed a rather shameless plug for the remake of Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire by the entities of AGD Interactive. Available now. As you read the writing, the words are ingrained in your mind. The scroll disappears.
I've never played any of those games. Those will go up on my channel someday, but they're a long way off. That could have been much, much worse. Really. Go look at the EGA version if you do not believe me. Quest for Glory. Also, I've noticed that Graham is pronouncing his name Graham, and I've been pronouncing it Graham the entire time. I based that on what I heard in King's Quest V. Oh.
You have just discovered the gravity of your situation.
Shit. I don't know if I can skip that, so let me just take a look around here.
There's a rock up here. Fancy that. The plateau is a natural lofty outcropping from this mountain.
Is there anything I can do up here other than hypnotizing the snake?
The plateau. There's plants grow. There are a few pine and fir trees growing on the mountaintop. The sky is. There are a few plants grow between the rocks up here. These rocks are actually part of the mountain, jutting out of the ground. There's no way you could move them. It feels solid enough. It would be. You don't need any plants or rocks.
Okay, let's just hypnotize this thing.
You dangle the shimmering opal in front of the snake. It soon falls hypnotized in typical snake fashion.
Is that really a typical thing? Or am I showing my age by saying that, chat?
The snake snaps out of its sleep-like trance.
That was quick. Jesus.
You dangle.
Wow, okay.
The snake. Your hiss.
Is that RNG?
You dang.
It snapped out very quickly both of those times.
The sky is split. There's a rock. It seems to be a log. There's nothing under the log, so don't bother moving it.
We didn't get any points for it, but I want to do it anyway.
You notice. As you read.
I've got no idea who that is, whether it's the protagonist or someone else. I assume it's the protagonist. Ooh. Well, that's different.
The cave is adorned with the most beautiful coverings you've ever seen. The material sparkles in the light from outside the cave. There's almost something unreal about this brilliant decor. A number of candles and dimly lit hanging lanterns adorn this small cave. They do not aid your vision much. Fortunately, enough sunlight enters from outside the cave entrance, providing adequate illumination for you to see by. The cave is adorned with the most beautiful Some incredibly valuable furniture has been placed here. You wonder how it is protected against the elements, as there are no obvious means of sealing the cave. This long staff looks magical in nature.
Can we grab it?
Enchanter staffs are very powerful objects. You dare not touch this one, for fear of the consequences you may bring upon yourself.
Ah, the enchanter. That's the dude we saw downstairs in the forest. Is there something we can do here to protect ourselves, perhaps? And or maybe undo what's been done to the snake?
As you had been expecting, this is your average, ordinary, run-of-the-mill cave. You are naturally surprised to see it is fully decorated and very well furnished. An ancient book lies open on the workbench. Though its pages are torn and faded, the cover is still a bright blood red. The cave. A collection of books are stacked side by side on a nearby shelf. Most of the titles are written in a mysterious language that you don't understand, so you suspect that they are about magic.
So that means 95% of all literature in the world which I cannot read is magic. Good to know.
As you had been expecting, this is your average, ordinary run of A neatly displayed scroll hangs on the wall. However, its archaic symbols and wording will forever remain a mystery to you. You have better things to do than to try out the furniture. The scroll is nailed to the wall. Don't bother trying to move them. You never did pay much attention during magic classes at Daventry High School. As a result, nothing in these books will help you. Don't bother trying to move them. Enchanter.
Let's check out the book.
You approach the workbench for a closer look.
Or the workbench.
A clear beaker. It is useful for mixing various fluids, chemicals, and minerals together. When lit, this device heats the beaker and any contents that it contains. A wick leads into the base, which is made of flint stone. These elaborate candlesticks are quite expensive looking. Someone might notice if you moved them. Unfortunately, you cannot cast fire from your fingertips. It would be best not to remove the beaker from its stand.
Do we need to perform an experiment here?
The ancient book bears the title, Ye Old Book of Enchantments, Causes and Cures. It looks very old and has been propped up on a pedestal.
Cures. Interested in that.
You flip through the book entitled, Ye Old Book of Enchantments, Causes and Cures. The first half contains a list of enchantments. These do not interest you, as you have no desire to inflict inconvenience upon others. However, the Cures section does capture your curiosity. While browsing, you spy a promising paragraph.
Oh my god, there's so much stuff here! The Old Book of Enchantments, Causes and Cures. While casting enchantments upon others may provide you with many daily hours of fun, do not ignore the danger that a miscast spell may have upon your own person. For this reason, you should prepare a simple item with which you can protect yourself against the effects of an enchantment, as well as providing a means for reversing said spell, should it be deemed necessary. Only the power of the emerald can properly dispel an enchantment. Emerald, growth gem, yeah. And thus the steps to create one are as follows. Firstly, heat a blue material and yellow vegetable. A plant is an acceptable alternative together until they coagulate into a greenish liquid. Blue mineral? Possibly the brooch or the birth gem, but the birth gem seems like a very bad idea. Yellow plants, that is the flower very clearly. We get a green mixture. Stir the mixture with a white feather, which we don't have. Drop this into a perfectly clear crystal, which we don't have, and recite. Heed now these words, crystal perfect, green is thy hue, restore correct, guard well my form, preserve protect. You will now have the means to safeguard yourself, should your enchantments ever get out of hand. To restore that which is under the effect of an enchantment, simply allow a strong light to pass through your emerald at the subject. Then behold the restoration. How do we do this? A blue mineral. Don't know what that is. Yellow vegetable, that is our flower. And then I need a white feather and drop it into a perfectly clear crystal.
You toss the brooch into the beaker.
That seems like a bad idea.
It would be best not. You have already dropped a jewel into the beaker.
Yeah, oh god, I'm all the way back here. I'm guessing that I can dispose of any of the treasures using this, but that would not be the solution. Where is it? We could possibly get the green liquid, but But at what cost?
You flip the first. You toss the earrings into the beaker. It would be better.
I don't feel good about this.
You toss the sickly yellow flower into the beaker. Unfortunately, you cannot cast fire from your fingertips. When lit, this device heats the beaker and any contents that it contains. A wick leads into the base, which is made of flint stone.
We need something to spark this.
Nothing happens. There's nothing. There's no. There. You have already. There's. You strike the head of the mallet against the flintstone.
Really?
It sparks, and the wick catches alight. You watch, fascinated, as the two unlikely objects melt under the heat of the magical flame.
We have a greenish liquid. Now we need to stir that with a white feather.
Nothing. Extinguishing candle flames with your bare fingertips always seems to result in a nasty burn. You were never any good at party tricks. You flip through the
Do I need to extinguish this? Don't know, but also I don't know how to extinguish it.
Nothing. Nothing.
Actually, can I do this?
You can't eat nothing.
Not yes.
There's no need to do that. The wick is already burning. It would be best not. The contents of the beaker have melted into a thick greenish liquid.
We didn't lose any points there, so I'm thinking that maybe the brooch might be the correct answer. A white feather. I've got to go back down very clearly, but where do I find a white feather? Other than the down that we saw in the basement of the antique shop, I'm not sure. Let me just do this again while you're not looking. Okay, can I get out of here? Yes.
You unroll the carpet.
Let me go back into the basement and see if I can grab a feather. If that fails though, I'm going to need to go somewhere else. We also need a crystal to drop this into. Where would I find a crystal?
You do not want to go back in there. You never know when Hagatha might return to continue her search.
Okay, that's an issue. What about that?
Piles of... It is a simple quill standing in its ink pot.
What are you doing?
I was just...
Don't!
The librarian has no interest in that. The paper.
Can I hypnotize the librarian?
The librarian. You cannot be serious. Even if you are so inclined, there are laws against homicide in this land.
I am serious.
The library.
What do we do about her?
The library. You. Pile.
What are you doing?
I was just...
Don't!
Will you accept this?
No,
Why not?
it has not been signed.
Then let me sign the bloody thing, please.
What are you doing?
I was just...
Don't!
That.
Yeah, I can use the library card with the feather or the quill. So that seems like something I should be able to do, but how do I distract her for just a moment?
You glance at the titles on this shelf. Remember the Triton, an autobiography from the ruler of the Mer people. You glance, revealing the truth about seeing unicorns and something about oneself in the process. Future's History, the true story of Space Quest 12. You would not know where.
Horror's Revenge 2.
You would. Icebergs and unsinkable ships.
Too soon.
You glance Chronicles of the Brady Bunch. Interesting. This book has a warning label. Prolonged exposure may cause irreparable damage to your perception of reality.
I like it.
You would.
I like it a lot.
Don't touch those.
Oh, sorry.
You see some odd-looking boxes stacked neatly on top of the filing cabinet. They have titles written on the side, such as Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers.
Video games. Gabriel Knight is also on my playlist.
You see some odd-looking boxes stacked neatly on top of the filing cabinet. They have titles written on the side, such as Robin Hood, Conquests of the Longbow.
Conquest of the Longbow is not on my playlist. I played that, did not enjoy it.
You see some odd-looking boxes stacked neatly on top of the filing cabinet. They have titles written on the side, such as Police Quest 2, The Vengeance.
You can find that on my channel. I didn't actually enjoy that one very much.
You see some odd-looking boxes stacked neatly on top of the filing cabinet. They have titles written on the side, such as Freddy Farkas, Frontier Pharmacist.
Try saying that 10 times. Never played that. Is it any good?
You see some odd-looking boxes stacked neatly on top of the filing.
How many more are we going to get? Haven't played Quest for Glory?
You see some.
Played that?
You see some.
Played that?
You see. You see. You see. You see. You see.
That might be it.
You see some odd-looking boxes stacked neatly on top of the filing cabinet. They have titles written on the side, such as Space Quest 3, The Pirates of Pestilon.
You can also find that on my channel.
You see some odd-looking boxes stacked neatly on top of the filing cabinet. They have titles written on the side, such as Leisure Suit Larry 4, The Missing Floppies.
I've not played that one, chat. Have you played it? Let me know in the comments.
You see.
I think that's all we're getting.
You see.
One from each series and a few other weird ones. I was hoping that Willy Beamish would show up.
Piles. They are You're kidding, right?
Don't touch those.
Oh, sorry.
Perhaps you perhaps you're kidding. Nothing happens.
I was thinking we could use that to stop the clock.
Nothing. The librarian. The librarian seems disinclined to speak further with you.
I assume that's the feather we need.
It is a simple quill standing in its ink pot.
Or at the very minimum, we need to sign this card, but how?
These books can't speak to you, and Teddy Ruxpin won't be invented for a few hundred years yet.
What? Okay, that one I don't guess. This is not going to be an RNG thing where we just go in, go out, go in, go out, and she might randomly disappear. The horse is gone.
Lovely flowers bloom in pots beneath the window. These flowers aren't yours to pick. Besides, they look nice where they are.
Is the horse RNG? It totally is. Oh my god. Along with the farmers on the left.
You have entered the town. The town gives you a pleasant feeling. In the spirit of a hyperactive child, you jump up and touch the sign. You knock loudly on the door. There is no response. The door is plain and has a mail slot. It also has a sign posted on it. You read it.
Yeah, we've read that. What do we do about this?
It is an unsigned library card. You attempt to sign the card with your finger. No luck. Nothing happens. Nothing.
Nothing is jumping out at me here.
The librarian.
Okay, let me have a look around. I'm annoyed we can't go back in there.
You do not want to go back in there. The door of the antique. The stylized windows in this town are lovely.
What about the church, the cottage, and the treehouse? And maybe the duck. And the rock. There's a few things I can check out. There's a few question marks on my map, but I can't immediately think of any puzzle solutions at the moment.
The door appears to be...
Yeah, that thing is not going to open until dusk. What did I read about the dwarf? Trapping the dwarf?
You rap on the treehouse door and wait. The rope has been severed. The rope, you don't.
We have a tree down on the bottom right. Which looks sus as hell, honestly. It looks like it doesn't belong on that landscape at all.
You can't use that there. Don't throw that into the spring. You
I used a nest with a trap, perhaps?
can't. There's no. There's.
Maybe the nest with the duck?
The door of the little cottage is kept closed. You decide to respect that. You attempt to open the door, but you open the mailbox.
Dusk till dawn.
You replace the card.
Alright, you.
Don't. You walk into position and try to catch the baby bird.
There we go.
You throw the net over the pond, and the baby bird is caught unharmed.
I have another bird. Would that have maybe qualified for the recipe? I need to check that immediately. One moment. Actual bird this time, not a burb. Yellow vegetable. Does the bird count as a vegetable, chat?
It is a baby bird, and not a terribly pretty one at that.
It could under certain circumstances, but let's not talk about that.
You don't want to hurt the little bird. Pinning that. Slaying this innocent creature will not aid you.
Damn it. I'm surprised it's not taking points off for that. Can I maybe reunite this thing with what I assume are its parents over here? Oh, I can't go north here. Have I made that mistake on both of my maps? I think I have. Gonna go up here. This is where we met Little Red Riding Hood or Possum. I should have gone right. That was a mistake. I go right here now. Is there anything here?
There are many. Uprooting the natural vegetation would be rather pointless, and you would get unnecessarily dirty in the process.
Can I go down from here? I totally can. What the hell? Okay, I missed that path. We're going... Which way are we going? I'll come back for this rock in just a moment. Right, folks. Are you related?
You release the little bird into the pond.
Wow, okay. That was not expected.
A white feather lies on the ground near the pond.
There's our puzzle solution. Holy shit.
You pick up the white feather and put it carefully away.
I don't suppose we could find some ink or something and use that to sign our card?
Nothing happens.
Alright, let me see if we can use the carpet here, but I suspect we cannot.
There's not enough.
Yeah, we need to find a larger landing strip. What about here?
You unroll the magic.
That was weird. Take me to the cave entrance, damn it. So this really doesn't help me at all because I can stir the mixture, and that's fine, but I don't have a crystal to dump it into. Let's see if we can die again.
You dang.
Yeah, once we've got this emerald, we can reverse the curse.
You cannot see a great deal of the cave from here. You cannot. You can.
Nothing, okay. Is this thing still bubbling away? It is. Right. Do we give you a stir?
It is a swan feather of the purest white you have ever seen. It feels soft. You stir the mixture carefully with the white feather. It soon dissolves in the hot liquid.
We lose the feather. Okay. We have stirred the mixture with the white feather. We need to now drop it into a perfectly clear crystal.
You have already added a blue mineral to the mixture.
Drop it into a clear crystal. We clearly do not have that, no pun intended.
Some incredibly valuable a collection of books.
There is only one crystal I could think of, and we can't get to it. It's in Hagatha's cave.
This long enchanters. You run your. A glass dome, semi-spherical in shape, sits on the table. It reminds you of a shakeable snow dome toy that you once owned as a child. You hear.
There's also the ball, but
It is a crystal ball, fairly standard equipment for those of the magical persuasion.
I can't pick it up.
Unfortunately, you are not versed in the skills for operating one of these.
And I can't get to there either, from what I can tell.
Make my complexion
There's not.
young and fresh.
Seeking a dialogue with this individual might drastically shorten your lifespan. Stalagmites have formed on the floor of the cave. Stalactites hang from the roof of the cave.
Inducing time
Uh-oh.
to reverse itself.
We can't walk in the cave.
You wandered into the witch's lair, and
Where else could I find a crystal? I'll continue on with this save, but I don't know where else to find a crystal. I did very quickly solve a puzzle there though, which makes me happy.
There's not enough room to use the carpet here. Try walking in front of the rocks.
Yeah, I found on my replay of King's Quest 2 that if you walk outside the cave and try using the carpet immediately, you get a very humorous message.
You unroll the magic.
It's something like, the QA team thought of this, you can't do this here because it'll clip through the cave.
To descend.
Okay, what now? What of this rock? Just updating my map. To me, it seems very important that Graham is doing an animation here.
You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge.
He went for a different stone earlier. Hang on.
You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge.
One of these has got to move.
You try to lift. You try. You try. You try. There's no way. You get. You. 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 There's. There is an enormous rock mound nearby. Vines and creepers run down it and twist through the cracks and crevices. Beneath the mound are some smaller stones.
Smaller stones.
6 spherical stones lie at the base of the huge rock mound.
Is there anything I can do to move them or loosen them? Not that I could see. I thought the sword would be a good choice.
You are traveling through Weirwood Forest. A large rock mound in the immediate area catches your attention. To the west and south, the forest dies down and turns into rolling meadows. To the east, the forest grows thicker and deeper. To the north, you notice a little clearing at the back of a small cave.
There's got to be something I can do with this rock pile. But I'm not sure what just yet.
Gray rocks. Don't bother moving. You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge. You have run into an evil enchanter. Get out of here fast before he turns you into something.
What's this asshole doing here? The enchanter can make his way all the way over to the left-hand side of the map. What the hell? Is that important that he shows up here? Maybe we can use him to our advantage to get into those rocks? What's the answer here? I would think that we could just... Oh, wow.
You have run into an... There's brandishing your sword might make you appear in a... There's... Repressing the earth. The enchanter would not waste his breath making small talk with you.
Alright, let's get out of here. I need to wait for him to leave the map. We can bend over and grab the rocks, but they're not moving.
You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge.
None of the 6 are moving.
You get the tree is unclimbable and the vines are unattainable. There is an enormous... In their ongoing effort, these plants
Hmm.
There's no.
I'm going to try everything.
There's no. There. There. There's.
Trying to brute force this.
There's.
The earrings won't let me in.
There's. There. There's. There. There's. You have. There's. There's no need. You can't. The enchanter isn't interested. There's not enough room to use.
Alright. Whatever this rock is, we can't get in there just yet, I think. Either that or I don't know what the solution is. What else do we have? We have the swamp up north, which I have not checked out because I assume it is nothing until later in the game. We still can't get in here?
You attempt to. You consider calling out to the house's occupant through the door, but then realize that doing so would be uncharacteristically rude.
Yeah, fuck that occupants. The only other interesting thing I see on the map is the tree down on the bottom right of the forest here. This guy.
A healthy baby tree grows near the spring. There's no reason for you to manipulate the small tree in any way. You taste it. Ah, fresh spring water.
We lost a bowl a while ago. Is there anything I can do with this tree?
Brandishing. You jab mercilessly at nothing, you fiend.
Indeed. Nothing is jumping out at me.
Dangling the opal in front of your own face, you soon find yourself mesmerized by its multitude of glittering colors. You manage to snap yourself out of it and put the necklace away.
Maybe that's how we learn that we can hypnotize things.
This odd circular device intrigues you. It depicts several different symbols around its outer rim: the sun, a mountain range, a drop of water, and a cloud. Ouch! The needle pierces your skin easily.
Once again, we are dead.
The color of the brooch clashes with your outfit. Better leave it off. You slide your fingers along the edge of the card, narrowly avoiding a cut. Your head would function much better in its current configuration. You smooth out the... A stab in the dark, a stab in the light, same effect. You might not attend church as religiously as your title requires, but that hardly means you are unholy.
Let me load for a moment because I've had a thought.
It would...
Come on.
I
can't skip that, unfortunately. Can I potentially use the feather with the quill? I can't imagine so, because have I run into any progression blockers at this point in the game? Any dead ends? I suppose the only one would be Hagatha's Cave. If I smash this skull with the gem in it before I've done my business in there, then we're kind of screwed. So maybe if I lose the feather early, that is a problem. Can I do this?
That. The librarian has no interest in that.
How do I sign this card? Alright. I am at a bit of an impasse, so I need to give this some thought. Let me check out this section again very quickly. Just want to see if there's anything that I missed. We got Hagatha's Cave here. Did I miss anything on these 3 screens, perhaps?
They look like they've...
Has anything changed over here? Not yet. What about these 2 screens on the coast?
They look... The leaning... There are nothing... The leaning... There are... The rocks... The rocks... The call...
I assume there's nothing out here. Yeah, we're in the wide open ocean immediately.
A tall cliff blocks further passage in this direction. It stretches down the coast as far as the eye can see.
Ah, okay, I can't move off the map like that. I'm going to skip the same thing here.
A tall cliff...
I suppose I should go down to the bottom and confirm we get the same message. But this is a fair old trek. There was nothing else underneath the log.
There's nothing else under the log. It is not interesting enough to touch.
Nothing new there.
A tall cliff blocks further passage.
Okay, I'm not sure what to do now. A clear crystal. That is my next goal. My immediate thought is maybe it's a dome in Hagatha's Cave, but I don't see any way we could have grabbed that.
Rocks are it would be the rock don't you bushes rocks many it would you get it would
Is there really nothing here?
A healthy baby tree grows near the spring.
This has got to be something.
There's no
But I don't know if we can do anything with it yet.
throwing that away would be like discarding one of the 3 treasures of Daventry. Don't throwing a stab in the brandish a healthy there's no there you like it would be unless you have eaten some white snake, you are not going to have much luck conversing with the trees.
I should understand that reference, but I do not.
An old stump juts out of the ground. There is nothing special about it. The stump holds nothing of value. You've got to hand it to the forest. It's really done a great job at preserving the natural flora that grows around these parts. You have run into an... You have come upon a quick little dwarf. Dwarves have a bad reputation.
Can I get out of here in time? Yes. I don't suppose I can jump across that chasm. The gap is very narrow there. Like super narrow.
Unless you intend on... Unless you...
Alright, I'm going to take that as a no.
You have just discovered...
Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Crystals. The church maybe?
A beautiful stained glass window depicts... You would sooner discard all your earthly...
No. Hagatha's Cave seems like the most obvious option, but I've got no way of getting back in there now.
Many... Bush... Gray... These...
What about the dwarf's house? Is there no way inside here?
What is this? What? You wrap... You wrap... You wrap... It is high. It is... You wrap... Brandishing your...
I don't think we're RNGing our way inside there.
You are in the middle of the forest.
A lemon tree?
You won't be needing another lemon. The lemon... You get in touch. You...
Alright, so I clearly need to give this some thought. There is something that I'm missing. I'll cut back in whenever I can think of something, or if I break and look at the walkthrough, I'll let you know. Back in a sec. What am I missing?
There's brandishing the tree is you try repressing the earth repress you try to lift the stone. This odd the golden object is very light and seems to be made of pure gold. The symbols that adorn it appear to have been chiseled in with incredible skill. No. You try that the other way around.
Excuse me?
You managed to dislodge the crystal that had been set within the hilt of the sword almost a millennium ago.
Oh, shit.
You feel a tinge of guilt and wonder what all the past monarchs of Daventry would say if they saw you damaging ancient crown property.
We were carrying the crystal the entire time.
The stunning clear stone used to belong to your ancient sword.
Shit.
This is the sword of the first king of Daventry. It dates back almost 1,000 years and has been passed down from king to king since that time. Try not to damage it. The crystal is missing from its hilt.
I might not end up cutting any of that out because I found that pretty much instantly. Okay, I saved over my game here, so I've got to go back up to the top, I believe. Actually, that'll do. This will do.
You dang.
So the final question is, do I need to extinguish the flame at all? We'll find out in just a moment.
You approach.
Okay, I need to give this a stir.
You stir.
Yeah, I was randomly trying to combine things to see if anything happened, but
Try that the other way around.
that's crazy.
You manage to dislodge the.
Can I feel it?
It is cool and smooth with sharp edges.
So does this work?
You drop the crystal in and watch, amazed, as the green liquid slowly seeps into it. The emerald has not yet been enchanted. You mustn't remove it from the beaker yet.
Aha, we need to speak, don't we?
You flip the.
Heed now these words. Crystal perfect. Green is thy hue. Restore correct. Guard well my form. Preserve protect.
Heed now these words. Crystal, perfect. Green is thy hue. Restore, correct. Guard well my form. Preserve, protect.
You recite the words correctly, line for line, and sure enough, only a brilliant emerald remains in the glass beaker. You quickly blow the flame out so as not to overheat the emerald and cause damage to it.
Oh, so that's how we do it.
The beaker now holds a magnificent green emerald. Picking it up gingerly, you're amazed that the emerald took virtually no time at all to cool.
Magic, bruh. Okay, that was an ordeal.
Your crystal has become a dazzling emerald. You sense magic in its refracted light. It is cool and smooth with sharp edges.
Can I put that back in my sword?
This object is not enchanted and therefore cannot be dispelled. This object is. You have no remaining interest in the old book.
I want to look at that last paragraph.
You have no remaining.
Damn it. What about that?
That is not enchanted.
The enchanted staff is not enchanted. Got it.
This long staff.
I know what it means, chat. Let's have a chat to this snack.